This is The Allusionist, in which I, Helen Zaltzman, cheat on my own 4-letter word season, thanks to this suggestion from listener Erica. Perhaps an idea for a bonus episode of a 4-letter word season would be one on 2-letter words. There's an established list that Scrabble nerds end up memorising, and it's full of weirdness. For example, AA, OE and MM are all acceptable words, but EW is not. Spoiler, EW, ew, is now. It was added to the Scrabble dictionary in 2018. So enjoy that! There are 2 different lists of words in English deemed acceptable in Scrabble. NASPA, the North American Scrabble Players Association, which has currently 107 2-letter words, and Collins Scrabble Words, formerly known as SOWPODS, used by the rest of the world that's not North America, and contains at present 127 2-letter words. Scrabble doesn't allow proper nouns or initialisms or prefixes or suffixes or some abbreviations, but other abbreviations are fine. Anyway, here are the 2-letter words that are allowed in Scrabble. So if you are playing one of them and your opponent calls you out on it and it's like, it's not real, and you can say, actually, it means a digging tool. If you are in Vancouver, BC, I've got a couple of events coming up. I'll be talking about the rather surprising Icelandic translation of Dracula at Nerd Night on 10th of September 2025 at the Fox Cabaret. And on 16th of October, I'll be talking with Samin Nosrat about her new book, Good Things, the follow-up to the super hit cookbook and TV show Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. That's at the Chan Centre. I've linked to tickets to both events at theallusionist.org/events. Also, thanks to all of you who came along to the Allusionist Beach meetup this month. I was very excited to learn that at the previous meetup, a romance had blossomed. On with the 2-letter words. Spelt A-A. It's a Hawaiian word, so really it is spelt with an akina, the glottal stop represented orthographically by an inverted comma. Means a type of lava, basaltic lava, that is rough and stony with a surface covered in shards of lava called clunkers. Ab, A-B, an abdominal muscle on its own, no friends. Ad, A-D, an abbreviation for advertisement, also the Latin preposition meaning towards, like in the terms ad infinitum, ad nauseam, and ad lib, which arrived in English as a music term in the early 19th century, meaning to pleasure, lib being a shortening of the Latin libitum, meaning pleasure, same as where libido came from. A-E, meaning one, and also the letter that was known as ash in Old English, the one where the A and the E are jammed together and in lowercase look like a hastily tied shoelace. Ag, A-G, an abbreviation for agriculture. I'm a little surprised Scrabble allows it. R, A-H, the interjection. I, A-I, not the initialism that I'm really bored of hearing already, but a type of pale-throated sloth. Al, A-L, a mulberry tree found in India. Am, A-M, my state of being. An, A-N, the indefinite article. R, A-R, the letter R. As, A-S, it's a conjunction, it's a preposition, it can even be an adverb, and it originated as a squished down version of also. And also, it is a word from an ancient Roman coin, the plural of which, hold on to your butts, is asses. Its predecessor, which was more of a lump of bronze than a coin, was the ass rude. At, A-T, the preposition and the curly symbol. Or, A-W, the expression, or. Axe, A-X, the chopping tool, sometimes has an E on the end, but chopped it off. I, A-Y, the interjection meaning yes, can also be spelled with an E on the end, but the axe took it to. Ba, B-A. In ancient Egypt, souls were imagined as being composed of several parts, one of which was Ba, the personality. Be, B-E, the verb to be. Bi, B-I, as in bisexual. Bo, B-O, a friend, apparently. By, B-Y, preposition, adverb, noun. Some of these 2-letter words really get a lot done. The next one is not valid in North American Scrabble, but rest of the world you can play it. Ch, ch, a shortening of the old first-person pronoun ich, ich, which was used in several regions of England until standardisation got to it in the 15th century, and it started to dwindle. Da, da, an abbreviation of dad. De, de, de in Latin, de in French, meaning from in both. Di, di, another one just for the Collins List Scrabble players, the nominative plural version of deus, the Latin word for God. Do, do, the verb, and sometimes noun, bit of a do. Ear, ea, another Collins only inclusion, it means a river. Ed, ed, pertaining to education. E, not for you North American Scrabblists, it's an old Scots word for eye, as in ocular eye. F, ef, the letter F. A, the exclamation A, or eh. L, the elevated railway. M, the letter M. N, the letter N. the hesitant expression. S, the letter S. Et, past tense of eat. Ew, EW. Yes, it's allowed in Scrabble now. Ew. X, the verb to cross out or delete, or the preposition implying something is not included, or the noun meaning your ex. Far, Fa, the musical note in solfège, as in far, a long, long way to run, not to be confused with the three-letter word far for our purposes though. Fe, a variant of the Hebrew letter P. Phi, Fy, the expostulation of frustration. Oh, fie and damnation, I'm playing Scrabble in North America and I can't use this word. Gi, a Japanese word for clothing that is often used to mean the loose-fitting white suit worn to do martial arts. Go, the verb, to make your way, to wend. Ju, a variant of Gju, which is a type of violin from Shetland, and therefore, perhaps unsurprisingly, it is not a type of violin used in the North American Scrabble word list. Ha, the laugh. He, the third person pronoun. Hi, hi, hello, hi. Ho, as in ho ho ho, or what ho, or another noise of surprise. Id, the part of the psyche with the most base urges. If, the conditional conjunction, and also the noun if, an uncertainty. In, as in, I-O, a triumphant exclamation, but not for you North Americans playing Scrabble. Is, the being verb. It, the third person pronoun, and the scary clown monster. Ya, J-A, meaning yes, but if you're asking if you can play it in North American Scrabble, the answer is no. Jo, J-O, a Scots word for sweetheart. Ka, K-A, another part of the ancient Egyptian concept of soul, this aspect being the essence that distinguishes a living person from a dead one. Ki, K-I, vital energy. Ko, K-O, a traditional Maori digging tool, a long wooden pole with one sharp end and a footrest partway up. This is not in the NASPA list, and nor is the next two-letter word, quite high value, Kai, K-Y, Scottish word for cow. La, L-A, another tone in the scale. Can you use the whole do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do in Scrabble? Yes, you can. Li, L-I, a Chinese distance measurement equivalent to about 500 metres. Lo, L-O, another expression of surprise or interjection, often served with a chaser of and behold. Ma, M-A, mother. Me, M-E, personal pronoun. Me, M-I, another note on the musical scale. M-M, meaning yes, or delicious, although I think I'd always go for at least 3 M's for deliciousness. Mo, M-O, a moment. Mu, mu, 12th letter of the Greek alphabet. My, my, another personal pronoun. Na, na, a synonym for no. Ne, ne, meaning born. No, no, means no. Nu, nu, 13th letter in the Greek alphabet. Ni, ny, another spelling of nigh as in the end is nigh, nigh. But using ny in Scrabble is not nigh for players playing North American rules, nor is ob, ob, supposedly an expression of opposition, although do the dictionaries want to declare it? Not really. Ode, od, a hypothetical force named after the god Odin. O, oe, a whirlwind off the Faroe Islands, or an old Scottish word for a grandchild born outside of marriage. Of, of, the preposition of belonging. Oh, the exclamation. Oi, oi, both the yell and a Maori name for the grey-faced petrel, also known as the mutton bird. Okay, alright. Om, the Hindu syllable that is a sacred sound and used as a mantra. On, it's on. Oo, can just mean oo, but the is also a Hawaiian bird that was declared extinct in the year 2000. It had already been declared extinct twice before, in the early 1970s and before that the 1940s, but then it showed up again. So don't ever count out the it's just running late. Op, OP, an art style, as well as abbreviation for operation and opportunity, as in photo op. Or OR, the conjunction between alternatives, also gold. Os, a bone or a mouth-like opening, or a long narrow ridge of gravel and sand deposited by streams that flow underneath glaciers. OU, an expression or a South African slang term for a bloke, or the o'u, an extinct Hawaiian honeycreeper bird, not allowed in North American Scrabble though. Ow, OW, the expression of pain. Ox, OX, the bovine animal. Oi, OY, the expostulation. Pa, PA, a father. PE, a Hebrew letter. Pi, PI, a Greek letter. Po, PO, a chamber pot. Chi, QI, vital force, and also a high-value Scrabble play. Re, RE, the musical note, do, re, mi, that one. Sh, SH, shh, be quiet. C, SI, spoiler for T coming up, also in the musical scale, because C is a variant of that. So, SO, also a note in the musical scale, but also the conjunction and adverb. ST, an exclamation to get people to shut up, or at least give you their attention. Not a valid play in North American Scrabble though. Ta, TA, thank you. T, TE, another variant of the next one. T, TI, a musical note in the scale. To, TO, the preposition. Ugh, UG, an object of disgust or fear, or vomit, or verb forms thereof. Not for those of you scrabbling in North America though. UH, the hesitant expression. the other hesitant expression. UN, an outspelling of one. Up, UP, the direction. You are, another hesitant expression. Us, US, the pronoun. Ut, UT, another musical note, usually the C note, and it has been supplanted by do in do, re, mi. We, WE, the first person plural pronoun. Woe, WO, an old spelling of woe, as in misery. The axe from earlier must have hewn off another E. Su, XU, the Vietnamese monetary unit. Ya, YA, pronunciation variant of you and yes, also the Chinese white pear. Yi, YE, you in olden times. Yo, YO, the expression. You, YU, a Chinese word for jade and other pretty rocks, not allowed in North American Scrabble. Za, ZA, a letter of the Arabic alphabet, also a slang term for pizza. Z, Z-E, the gender-free pronoun, and to preempt any griping that it is newfangled, it has been around since at least 1864. Nonetheless, you can't play it in North American Scrabble, nor can you use the last of our two-letter words, which is too bad for you because the Z words are of high value. The last one is Jo, Z-O, a Tibetan animal that is the result of breeding cattle with yaks. It is often spelled D-Z-O or Z-H-O, also sometimes known by the portmanteau yattle and yakao, which is such a mess of a portmanteau I cannot endorse it. Those were the two-letter words you can play in Scrabble. A little break from four-letter words. And soon, we will reach the season finale of four-letter word season. There has been a Scrabble game happening via correspondence between far-flung Allusionist members. What is the Allusionist? It's the community of listeners who help fund this show's continuing existence, for which I am very grateful, because it is really rather tricky to keep media afloat in these times, particularly without the financing of an evil tech overlord. And it's baffling to imagine why, but evil tech overlords have thus far found me and my work 100% resistible. But happily, a bunch of you are into it, and for your monthly donations of as little as $2 a month, you get behind-the-scenes info about the making of every episode, regular live streams where I read soothingly from my ample collection of dictionaries, and membership of the Allusionist community, where this week we've been discussing fried foods of the state fairs, journal prompts, dealing with friends' unwelcome habits, and cat sneezes. And we have watch-alongs. We are currently gathering weekly for the Great British Sewing Bee, and soon the new season of the Great British Bake Off, once more onto the breach. Do join for any or all of that via theallusionist.org/donate. Your randomly selected word from the dictionary today is tracasseries, plural noun, archaic, petty quarrels or annoyances. Try using tracasseries in an email today. This episode was produced by me, Helen Zaltzman, on the unceded ancestral and traditional territory of the Musqueam, Squamish and Tsleil-Waututh nations. Music by the singer and composer Martin Austwick of palebirdmusic.com. Our ad partner is Multitude. To sponsor this show, so I can talk with warmth and affection about your product or thing, get in touch with them at multitude.productions/ads. And you can hear or read every episode, including all the other ones in four-letter word season, get information about the episode topics, and see the full dictionary entries for the randomly selected words, and browse the lexicon of every term ever featured in the show, linked to which episode it's in, all at the show's forever home, theallusionist.org.